some friends, I'm Raven J. Big ideas and points of view, a little old, a little new. Some will challenge, some will share, but everybody gets a chair. No script, no filter, no lines to rehearse. Sometimes the answers, sometimes just the kerfuffle first. So grab a coffee, settle in tonight. Real conversation and hearts open wide. Kerfuffle tonight with Raven J, where the talk is real and everybody's welcome.
Everybody out there watching, there's two. Hi, long time no see. So yeah, so oh, can you mute or is that worse? Is that you?
What are you hearing?
I'm hearing me.
It shouldn't be coming from me.
Okay, I got.
Do you have the YouTube page open and like okay?
What? Guess you could tell I'm out of practice. So yeah, that was the intro. Oh my god, I am way too close to the camera. That was the intro. And I mean, it was AI. For all of its problems, it's also kind of fascinating. And I find myself arm wrestling with it whenever I use it for whatever the purpose. I end up fighting with it. Because it, and I guess it depends on which one you're using, which whatever. But it kind of has its own thing where it wants to go, and it doesn't always match what I want it to do. So I fight.
Yes.
So, I put the lyrics to that song together. I put it into Agent Opus, where it'll do a script to audio and video. So that's what I did with it, and it kept making me black. And I'm like, I'm not black. I'm like, that's not me. And, I'm not paying for a service that I'm not really going to use. So I that's why there are the watermarks. I'm not paying. Fuck that. I'm not paying for it. It's a ridiculous service. I needed it for one thing. And it gives you like so many credits, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
you get so many credits and you can go ahead and you can make something, whatever, or a few somethings. And it kept making me black. And I ran out of credits. And I'm like, no, I want my credits back. This was a you mistake.
Right.
I gave you my images. I gave you, I gave you the logo for the show. I gave you the lyrics. I did all of that work. I gave all of that to you. And you're giving me back a black Raven J. And there's nothing wrong with a black Raven J.
No.
Except
but
Raven
it's not
J
you.
is not black.
Yeah.
So, and the AI was just like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. So what I did was I made another email account and I got my credits back that way. And it finally had it somewhat where I was like, okay, I'll take this. I'll take this. And then I deleted Agent Opus or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, but I mean,
no, I
actually no, Steve. Before you say anything, I wanted to say I actually really did fight with it. Like I argued with it. I'm like chatting where I am yelling at it, and I was insulting, and I was like artificial intelligence indeed.
I was actually I was going to say I've done that too. I mean, I've seen there's people will share like memes around about AI stuff, and it'll be like it's the one I've seen is like the guy asks his AI like, are these mushrooms safe to eat? And the AI says, yeah, those mushrooms are safe to eat. Go ahead, enjoy. And then the next panel of the comic is like the guy's laying there dead. And the AI says, you're right. That's completely my fault. Those mushrooms weren't safe to eat after all. And like I've had that conversation. I've had that argument with an AI chatbot, and I had to like sort of step back from myself and say, you're arguing with a calculator. Like, why are you arguing with this? It's not a person. It's
Right. So yeah, I use ChatGPT, and
right.
I had I don't remember. This was months and months ago. I was working on something, and I had put into it something about the east wing of the White House, and it had to correct me to let me know that I was completely wrong and that nothing has happened to the east wing of the White House. I mean, no, it was demolished by Donald Trump in October of last year.
Yeah.
And the chatbot told me no, that I was mistaken, and that I could not use that in a post or in a video because I would then be sharing misinformation and my critics could use that against me. What?
how dare you fuck with me on this, Chat GPT?
So I went and I did the search and I found these articles and I gave it to ChatGPT and I'm like, there you go. And it said, it appears as though you may be correct, but these aren't really verified sources. I'm like, what the fuck?
The irony of an AI telling you these sources might not be reliable.
I'm like, are you kidding me? So get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I have argued with AI. And like I said, when I use it to create something, I fight with it a lot. Because like I'll have like a turn of phrase in my head that I like, and I pop that in, and it'll say something like, I think it would be better. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm hitting a script. This is what I want.
Right. I
Is
didn't
it
ask for your
unusual?
opinion.
Yeah. Is it unusual? Sure. But that's the point. I am unusual. So fuck it. Let's roll with it. God, fucking robot.
Yeah, exactly. Just do what the fuck I tell you. I did this. This isn't a creative meeting. I'm telling you to do something.
That I do with it too every now and then. I tell it I'm going to donate you to City College, which is a line from Iron Man. He tells the what was the robot's name? Dummy, because he kept spraying him with the fire.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
he goes, if you do that one more time, I'm going to donate you to City College. Well, I tell my chat GPT that all the time. I just had a notification from somebody. Oh, is this somebody else telling me I'm wrong?
It's from
I don't know.
ChatGPT.
It's you know what? If ChatGPT sent me a message saying I was wrong, I would be pretty pissed. No, it's on Facebook. Something probably about the reflecting pool.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, I guess ChatGPT probably thinks that's still okay too, if it's so far behind in the news, you know.
I didn't ask. I should.
Yeah. Hey, what's up with the reflecting pool? And it's fine. Last I heard, why did something happen to the reflecting pool?
It's just. So now what are they saying? Somebody climbed into the pool with a razor blade and sliced a 350-foot gash into the lining of the reflecting pool.
Yeah.
There is no lining of the reflecting pool, number one. It's paint.
They painted it. Yeah, exactly.
They painted it. It's paint. It's not a lining. That's number one. Number two, then there's people going, oh, it's because the concrete wasn't set properly. Okay, number two, it's not concrete. It's a granite pool. Right? This is a natural surface. It's a granite surface. It's not concrete.
Right.
So there's that. And it's just like, yeah, okay. Somebody, a singular person, climbed into this massive pool in the middle of our nation's capital,
Yes.
in between two of the most visited monuments in the country, undetected,
Nobody saw. Yep.
with its scuba gear and a super knife,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and cut a 350-foot gash to make the president look bad.
Yes, exactly.
Because that's what it takes. I don't.
Yeah, I love that conceit. Like, oh, because he doesn't look bad already. But if somebody,
What?
vandalized the reflecting pool, then that's gonna turn everybody against him, right?
We're just embarrassed that that's the guy that's heading it up.
Yeah.
I know. It's just unbelievable. It's just so. It's surreal.
It feels like something that somebody is making up. I mean,
Yeah.
well, especially the thing that I had the thought earlier today, because I was thinking about the reflecting pool and just what a shit show it is, and
You were
how
you were
I was
reflecting.
I was reflecting on the reflecting pool, and just how much of like how symbolic it is of the whole thing. And it just like it feels like of all the things you could say about Donald Trump, what a disaster he's been on every level. The thing that almost fascinates me more than anything else is he has now been president in total, counting the first term. He's now been president for almost a full term and a half, because we're almost to the halfway point of this current term. And most people, when they've been doing a job for a while, they get better at it. And he just keeps getting worse. Like the longer he's president, the worse he is at it. How does that happen?
It, that's the intent, is to get worse. I don't
Yeah.
believe for a minute. Like, okay, so for both terms, he was told repeatedly, over and over again, Mr. President, you can't do this, or you can't do that, you can't do this. And he did it anyway.
Yeah.
So he doesn't give a shit, obviously, about the guardrails or about the norms. He doesn't care about the traditions. He doesn't care about the law. He doesn't care about liberal democracy. He has no use for any of it. He's there for one reason and one reason only, and that's to enrich himself. That's
I
it.
agree. Oh, I completely agree. Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter. Like, he wants to be adored. He wants to be remembered. He knows that even if he somehow manages to put an end to our electoral system and declare himself America's first emperor, which I guarantee you he would do in a minute if he could do it. If he somehow manages to do all that, he also knows that he's 80 and he eats too many cheeseburgers and he's about to die.
Yeah.
He knows, and that is the reason why he's trying to put his name on it. Like, he's trying to force a legacy. You don't put your name on somebody else's, in essence, gravestone.
Yeah.
Right. Unless you want your name to be on a gravestone. But like, he knows he's going to die and he wants to be remembered. What better way is there to connect yourself to Kennedy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely, and you're right. It's about him trying to force his legacy. I mean, he wants respect that he hasn't earned.
Right.
Like he doesn't think he should have to earn it. He thinks he's entitled to it. You know, that's why he gets pissy with members of the press every once in a while when one of them actually asks him a challenging question instead of just knuckling under for him. Every once in a while, an interviewer will press him a little bit on something, and he immediately just gets pissy because that's not, he doesn't think that, what are they doing? That's not their job. What are they doing?
That's what he does. That's what he does. He gets busy.
Yeah.
That's all he knows how to do. That and to boss people around.
Yeah.
So 4 people watching, which is probably the largest audience I've had in a while. Back in the day, I used to fill chat rooms, like hundreds of people. It's been a long time. And I mean, whatever. I could like bitch and moan about it. So I will.
Hey, it's your show, baby. Go ahead.
I mean, YouTube has changed so much over the years that it's what used to work doesn't work anymore. And again, that's fine. This is the first time I'm doing anything on YouTube outside of watching in a long time. The last time I did something was for SiriusMined for Joe.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, he passed away earlier this year, and it sucked all of the oxygen out of everything that I do online. Joe was my best friend, not only online, but in real life. And yeah, so it hurts. He was an integral part of the Kerfuffle Tonight Show, of Raven's Nest when I used to do that. He was my co-host on just about everything, just about every night. And one of my, through my transition, and after, he was one of my biggest supporters. The only person to come visit me in the hospital when I was recovering from surgery. And he was also the biggest donator to Madness Man charity all of the years that it ran. And he also took on several hours every year. So he was a big part of the show. So when we lost Joe, when I lost Joe, lost a lot. And it took the wind out of my sails. It really knocked the air out of me. And I left for 6 months. I left YouTube. And I decided to come back, and I decided that the first show back would be a tribute to Joe. So if I had some whiskey here, I would drink a toast, but I don't. I do have a can of Pepsi, so to Joe.
And I have a Snapple, so it's a Joe. Yeah.
And I see you later, Lady Tiger Lily. Hello, Liam. By the way, Lady Tiger Lily, love you. Always happy to see you here. Always happy to see you on Facebook. You're one of my favorite people. So, and also, as everyone who knows us knows, you're also a very big part of Joe's life too. So it's a big part of yours. So I'm glad you're here. So yeah. Anyway, let's do a lot of stuff. Happier stuff. So yeah, back to the reflecting pool. I no. Let's talk about YouTube. Let's talk about YouTube.
Let's talk about it.
What is going on in Steveville?
You know, I have this little trick I do where I just ignore pretty much what other people on YouTube are doing and just focus on my own stuff. So when you say what's happening in Steveville, like that's kind of that's kind of how it is. Like, I have a tiny handful of like other YouTube channels that I regularly pay attention to, and some of them are people like that I know who are also YouTubers, and I keep up with their stuff. But the people like who are other sort of full-time YouTubers like me, if I'm not like an acquaintance of them, at least I'm usually not like, when I watch stuff on YouTube, it's like I watch like, like old wrestling shows and like, movie trailers and, um, you know, a handful of other things. But so, I mean, I, um, I did a video on yesterday about an old episode of Night Gallery that I've always liked, but always thought had a really terrible ending, called "They're Tearing Down Tim Riley's Bar." Um, so that was my Monday video. And then tomorrow is another Star Trek video, because that's still a regular subject for me. Um, hmm?
I mean, there's plenty of material.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
Where
No,
we,
it's inexhaustible. Yeah. It's seemingly.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what are we at? How many years is it? It's
This year is 60. This year is 60. Yeah.
I'm currently rewatching the original series.
Yeah, always a good idea.
Always a good idea. It's not something that believe it or not something that I've done intentionally very often. Where we just watch, just like a watch through, like to binge
Right.
it from
I
beginning
don't
to
do
end.
that very often either. Yeah.
As a kid, I watched a lot of the original series because, well, that's number one, that's all there was. Um, and number two, they
Yeah.
would do the marathons on, was it WPIX or whatever it was? They would do the marathons, and 11 years old, I would stay up and I'd stay up overnight and end up passing out on the living room couch trying to watch all the way through.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was always a big part of my entertainment consumption. Ways. So there's plenty of material.
Yeah,
Um,
it goes on forever. And I mean, and you can look at it from different angles, like, because I try to take more of a video essay approach, and so I'm not necessarily just reviewing like a movie or an episode and saying this was good or this was bad. I mean, I do that too, but for my,
right.
videos that I put a lot of, work into, it's more like, a Star Trek related topic or something about Star Trek as a franchise that I'm sort of digging into. And, you know, and you can talk about different episodes or different movies or even different entire series from various perspectives. And, like for a while, one of my regular viewers kind of teased me last year because I went through a phase, a couple of months stretch where like I kept bringing up the TNG episode, The Measure of a Man. And I didn't mean to, it just kept coming up. And finally, my buddy, he was like, are you going to mention The Measure of a Man in like every video from now on?
In a lot of different situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I watch your video essays on Star Trek episodes. I like them. I always because I don't watch as much YouTube as I used to. Something
Mhm.
we were just talking about a minute ago.
Yeah.
I don't watch as much as I used to, um, and I always seem to forget to watch, or I miss the Federation jobs videos.
Oh yeah, the Starfleet job. I'm writing a new one of those right now, actually. That's the
Yeah.
video I'm writing right now. Yeah.
I've seen a couple of them, but I'm always just like, oh, wow, guys, I've seen that scrolling. I got to get back to that, and then I never
Yeah.
do. Because like I said, I'm not on YouTube as much as I
Yeah.
used to. But I do like them. But the video
Thank you.
essays, I make a point to be there for those, to watch those. Yeah. Peach asked earlier, what are you guys going to talk about? Do you have anything planned out? Like, not really. I've been doing this for, okay, I am now a content creator on this platform now for 17 years.
There you go.
I've never really planned out shit about what I was going to talk about. It's just whatever. Turn on the camera and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, and there was a time where there was enough people watching where there was interaction, and you didn't really need anything. They would provide the material.
You would just feed off the chat. Yeah, sure.
And it doesn't work that way anymore. So I still don't plan anything. So sometimes I sit here going, what are we going to talk about?
Well, yeah, I don't usually plan out my live streams. I mean, I plan out my, hey, Foxy Jezebel.
Hey, what's up, Foxy?
I write my proper videos, as I call them. But when I'm doing a live stream, like if I do, I do a twice monthly like Q&A live stream, and I
Yeah.
kind of know where that's going to go because people send in questions, so I know I'm going to talk about these questions. But like if I'm doing my friend Dana and I do a live stream every Wednesday, and you know our banter in that isn't planned. We just talk about whatever. And even the podcast I do, the Ensign's Log with Jason. I don't know what we're going to do. Jason has a rough, because it's an improv sort of comedy podcast, and so Jason knows generally where he wants us to go, but he doesn't tell me.
Something like improv starting with zero is rough. You need something to kick off of.
Oh God, yeah. No, I mean, in certain scenarios I can do it, but I mean, and I'm really good. I'm a decent. I'll put it this way. I'm a good improviser if I'm working with a better improviser, because I can totally just empty my head out and just go along with whatever's happening and just make up some bullshit that I think sounds right for the scene. But if I'm the one who has to be the creative one and the imaginative one and really drive it, I don't know, we might be in trouble, you know, but I can add to it, you know, once somebody gets me started.
Because I think if it's me having to be the creative one, I think in my old age, my field of view has gotten so narrow, right, that I am less able to or less likely to stray away from my areas of comfort. Like I said, that are admittedly are getting narrower and narrower.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it happen. I ain't doing shit about it, but I see. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, damn it.
I know what I'm doing.
God damn it. But yeah, you know, so that's cool. I'm gonna keep an eye. I do want to catch up on the Starfleet jobs, because the ones that I've watched I thought were hilarious. It's true. It's like that's the same like magic of like Lower Decks, right? It's just like you watch these shows, right? And the grandiose spectacle that they all are, you know, with the soundtracks and the dramatic lighting and all of this stuff, the special effects, right? And you know, if they're doing their jobs, you buy in to the story, right? So you buy into all of it. But nobody ever stops to think somebody has to fix that computer, or you know, somebody somewhere is a journalist for this society who's writing everything down somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody's a guy who's cleaning the. I mean, somebody. You know, there's a couple thousand people on one of those ships. Somebody has to clean the crews. So
I mean, the fun thing about it at this point, because I've been doing these videos for a few years now, and I've kind of run through all of the obvious ones. Like, I think the first 3 or 4 that I did, I kind of ran through the really obvious ones. Like, the first one I did was Starfleet Lawyer. And the joke in that one is, of course, in Star Trek shows, there are no lawyers. It's always like the captain who's the lawyer, You know, like if one of the crew is in trouble and they get sent, they go to a trial or whatever, like it's always, oh, Captain Picard, he's the lawyer. It's like, what? Don't they have actual lawyers? Why is the captain doing this? So that was the joke of that. He's the Starfleet lawyer, but he never gets to do anything because all the other officers kind of step in ahead of him and say, I'll take care of it. And he's like the actual trained attorney who never gets to do anything.
So you do a non-religious, multi-denominational creature, Starfleet, some kind of
Yes.
a clergy.
Yeah, the chaplain.
Non-religious and multi-denominational.
Yeah, I did. That was one of my favorites. I did the Starfleet chaplain, and
That's right, you did. So I got to find that one.
yeah, he's that was one of my favorites. Because
I have to find that one.
because the way I'm doing them now, I'm still trying to find like jobs that we don't really see portrayed in the actual shows that would have to exist if it were real, or that kind of refer to actual jobs that people do in the military but that we never really see in Star Trek. But then I also I've kind of run out of those obvious jokes, so now I need to do something else with it. So part of what I do is I use it just to make fun of Star Trek and make fun of, the silliness and the sort of inconsistencies, the way we see it portrayed in the show. And then I also try to use it to satirize, real life stuff. Like,
Deservedly so.
hmm?
Deservedly so.
Yeah. And like, like real Star Trek does,
So,
or
yeah.
sometimes it hasn't done it as much recently as I would like, but still does. So yeah.
Strange New Worlds musical episode. The one song, the one when they first all start singing, right?
Yes.
And the captain is calling every station and asking, what's going on?
Yeah.
When they get to medical, there's a line in the medical. There's one word, actually, in their song that has irked the shit out of me ever since that episode aired.
Okay.
And that word is splinter.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
There's no wood.
Where'd they get a splinter?
Like, splinter?
What?
Who the fuck wrote this?
I never thought about that, but yeah, that's like, wait a minute. There's no wood on it. It's a spaceship.
All the wood there was fake. So all that wood paneling, that was like an old car. That's just fake.
Yeah, nobody's getting splinters off of that.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, yeah, that just something, like I said, since that episode aired, every time I hear it, I'm like, no, not possible. So, Kerfuffle tonight.
Yes.
Most of you know, right? I've done this before, the Kerfuffle show. I just like the sound of Kerfuffle. And I didn't make it up. Kerfuffle's a thing. It's kind of like an argument or like a small little fight. It's a little tussle kind of a thing, a kerfuffle. A flurry of activity, which I think sums up my internet existence these days. Every now and then there's a bit of a kerfuffle. But so I like the sound of it. So I decided I was going to bring it back. And for those of you just joining, right, this episode is just in memory of Joe, and talked about him already. We'll probably talk about him again before the show is over. But this is one aspect of my grand return to the tubes of you. Another aspect is I've decided to revisit a topic. I've actually recorded today 3 times, and now I have to do it again tomorrow. A video for a script that I wrote over the last few days, where I'm revisiting a topic that I have talked about in the past. There's I have a 4-part video series about dominionism. And I've recently refreshed all of the thumbnails. I've altered the titles so you can see the title that it's part of the same series. So I had Dominionism Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. And so I decided, while I was doing that, while I was refreshing my channel, I decided I wanted to do a Part 5 of that series. So I started researching, and I started pulling stuff out of here and there. I started pulling on different threads, and I realized I can't do a Part 5. There's just way too much. Initially, my initial thought was I'm going to make a video where I'm going to point to the other 4 videos and say, I warned you about this 15 years ago. Trump was foreseen. Like this was all, everything that we're seeing now with the breakdown of the government and with trans people being like the enemy of everything, and all of this was foreseen. There's no surprise, right? The biggest surprise in my eyes is how easily so many people are just going with it. That is probably the most shocking thing. But Americans are just laying down their freedom left and right, just giving it up willingly, just giving up the Constitution, giving up their freedom. But this was all warned about 15 years ago by me. So I wanted to do a video just saying, I told you so, showing some clips and saying, look, this was known. But then when I got into it and I was doing the research and I'm like looking at stuff going, no, this is just way too big. Every thread that I pulled led to something else. It's just like the dominionism reach, right? It's connected to the rise of China. It's connected to the Russia-Ukraine war. It's 100% connected to and part and parcel with Israel crushing Gaza. I mean, there's no way to escape its influence and its power and its reach. Everything from Project 2025 to the sidelining of the U.S. Congress. It's just such a massive thing, and I'm like, I can't do it. I have to continue the series. So I wrote a script basically saying the series is going to move forward. After all these years, I'm going to update it and, talk about how we got to where we are and what we can expect next and what to do next. I'm going to talk about different aspects of it, the LGBT stuff, the women's rights, abortion. I'm going to have to, as much as I would prefer not to, I'm going to have to talk about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, because that subject all by itself is a black fucking hole, and nothing comes out of it. Light won't even escape. But I mean, so I decided that's what I'm going to do. Will I do it well? I don't know. I don't know. It's been a long time. I haven't taken on a project that big in a long time. I still want to do Madness Man Charity, but as of right now, that's the direction I decided that I'm going to go. Somebody needs to do it. I don't think there's enough people talking about dominionism and what it is and how we're seeing it unfold and destroy our secular democracy. But we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it is, you talk about how it was all foretold. I mean, what we're seeing now and what we've been seeing for the last 10 years is what happens when those people are actually able to take charge.
Right.
Because all of the I mean, dominionism is something that, has been around for decades.
Decades.
And there have always been people on the right who have spoken openly, you know, about how it should be a Christian government, and you know, the only people who are suitable for public office are Christians.
In,
And
in, in mid-'80s, Pat Robertson, um, you know, who I had said a long time ago, somebody should have taken out to the middle of the lake in a boat, dropped them off. But you know, in the mid-'80s, Pat Robertson had very publicly called for the disbanding of Congress in order to give all of the power of the government to Ronald Reagan. Because in Reagan, and this is something I'll talk about in the videos, but whatever. In Reagan, you know, the religious right found a champion.
yeah,
You know, they found somebody could be the vehicle for what their ultimate desires were. And I don't know if there was a name for the overarching movement at the time, but it was dominionism. That's what it was. That's
yeah,
what it, you know, I mean, that was not even the beginning of the movement that we see today, but it was really where it started to crystallize.
yeah,
Because I mean, the moral majority that goes into the 70s, right?
yeah.
A lot of these ideas go back into the late 60s. So, I mean, yeah, it goes back decades, but it has been gaining ground forever. Yeah, now we're someplace where we can't ignore it anymore.
Well, no, because I mean, the reason why I think it's gotten to this point, not the only reason, but I've said for a long time, a big reason is there were so many people in the United States who just had this idea that, well, everything will work out.
Right.
You know, we don't need to pay attention to this. They look, these guys, nobody's going to vote for these guys. And it's like a lot of us kind of took our hand off the wheel, and somebody else grabbed the wheel and said, well, if you're not going to drive it, I'll motherfucking drive it. And,
So
and here we are, you
yeah,
know?
um, events is not really the right word. But there were two events in the last like 50 years that really propelled the movement forward and made it to become more and more part of mainstream American life. One was the Reagan presidency. The second was September 11th. Um, September 11th was rocket fuel for the Christian conservative.
Yeah.
It's, you know, we were attacked by Muslims. You know, for them, it's a holy, for the religious right, it's a holy war.
Yeah.
You know, and if our government isn't a Christian government, if we aren't enforcing biblical law, then we're going to be overrun and destroyed by the Islamists. So, I mean, it's the Crusades.
Well, yeah. And you know how well those turned out.
You know, and God forbid somebody's teaching your kid Arabic numerals.
Yeah, boy, parents, you better watch out for that. It could be happening in a school near you.
And that's true also, Fred. I don't know. Do I know you, Fred Skull 1618? Um, hey, my little guys are upset.
Oh,
They so badly want to be in here making a lot of noise and watching TV, and they need to go to sleep. They need to go. They got school. Anyway, Steve recommended.
oh,
Wow.
Fred. All right. Well, thanks for coming. All right.
Well, thank you for recommending.
I got you one. I got you one more.
Maybe two. So I used to be somebody. Peach has this tagline that she uses, I'm nobody. You know, and mine is I used to be somebody.
Yeah. Well, look, it's hard. I know. I mean, I've been posting regularly forever, and I mean, as far as live streams go, like my live streams if I get maybe 100 people for a live stream, that's a really good live stream. Like my live streams don't really, compared to how my other videos do, my live streams do no numbers at all. So, I mean, it's tough. Like even if you post regularly and have a decent
Yeah, I
size
mean, it's
audience
not
like
what it
I
used
do,
to
it's
be.
tough.
I used to do blog TV, way back in the day, and I would, the chat, you couldn't even keep up with it. Stickam, blog
Yeah.
TV, Vaughn Live TV, we did that for a while. And we always packed the room. But the last several years is just, it just steadily got worse. And I mean, part of it is my fault too for not being as interesting as I like to think I am, and and not being as consistent as I used to be. Life starts to happen.
Yeah.
At one time, believe it or not, I used to be a single man, and I had lots of time. Um, I was unemployed, and I was a single man who was shirtless all the time. And I would stream, I shit you not, 20 hours a day. And I would have hundreds and hundreds of people on. And I would have big channels on with me, like Dark Matter and DPR Jones and Thunderfoot. That was just part of the whole circle. Um, I am no longer single, no longer unemployed. I am no longer shirtless, no longer a man. So,
Everything changed.
so it's a whole new environment. And I think it's the fact that I'm employed that changed a lot.
Well, sure.
Sure.
You've got other shit to do,
Uh,
everything else was
so,
just incidental.
but yeah, so when I do get the chance to come on, I just don't get the numbers I used to get. And like I said, it's just not as consistent as it used to be. And I don't know. I get disgusted a lot easier than I used to. And I handle it differently. And I think that's the hormones. Like I used to scream at people. Like I don't know how many webcams I broke the mic in because I was just screaming so loud that I would rupture the mic.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh well, I got to get a new one. That one's not going to work anymore. Um, I don't get angry like that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, another thing is, it's frustrating if you do something that you think deserves to be seen and people don't watch it. But like
So
for me, at the end of the day, I know that's not ultimately the reason that I did it. Like I'll put up a video that I think is really good and it'll get way below my typical view count for whatever reason, because it's not a subject that's interesting to anybody but me, or because people didn't like the thumbnail or the title, or who knows why it didn't catch on, but it just doesn't, and it just kind of sits there and dies. And there's a part of me that looks at that and goes, "Gah," like why didn't people watch it? But then I think, look, I made it. It is what I wanted it to be, and it's there. If anybody does find it and enjoys it, great. That's why I made it. I made it to make it because I thought it was a good idea and I wanted to do it, and I did it.
that videos that I've spent hours and hours and hours on between editing and the script and everything else. And I'm like so proud of it. And I just, I can't wait to I put it up. And then nobody watches it. It's just like,
Yeah.
I will admit though that my older stuff had more of an edge. And I do think that's part of it. Like I think the hormones um have removed some of that edge. Age has removed some of that edge too. But I mean, like I just had like a biting wit. I think that I don't really have it. Not like I used to. Um, and I made videos like the Welcome to the New America video. Do you remember that? Did you see that one?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, it's been, I mean, it's been a
Where
while, but
it's like one of
it
those
rings a
videos
bell.
where it's like when you it's like an onboarding training video for a job,
Yeah.
right? And you know, in the dress shirt. Welcome to the new America, brought to you by the GOP, right? With your new position as citizen, you now have the right to freedom of speech and the right to vote. It's only reserved for citizens in the new America. Our prison population is down to zero now that we've made every crime punishable by death. Um, that kind of stuff. I did there was the one video I did fully nude, years before I transitioned. And it was I did it for the Ponage Olympics. I remember the Ponage Olympics.
I
Um,
remember the Ponage Olympics. Yeah.
it was so I did a video about it was answering an anti-trans video, and I made the whole video, and I was just covering all my junk with my hands, and I started really close up, and through the whole video, it just steadily moved back. It was in black and white, and at the time it was a great video. But we're old, I know. Yeah, I kind of, that feels too.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I'm lucky as far as what Foxy just said. I'm lucky in that like this is my actual job. Like doing YouTube is my full-time job. So like I don't have to balance another job with the YouTube thing, and like, so the bandwidth issue has never really been an issue for me, because the way I approach it is I make things and then I share the things that I made, and as long as I'm still interested in doing that, I'm going to keep doing it, but I can definitely understand people that are like, I just don't, I can't keep, you know, I can't keep posting about stuff. Like, I've got kids, I've got work tomorrow, I'm exhausted, I feel like I should do more, but I just can't. And that's, I mean, of course, that's, you know,
Doing stuff on TikTok these days. She's been posting videos. I don't know if you follow, I don't know if you're on TikTok or not. But she's had several in the last couple of weeks, last few weeks, several videos, and she's doing pretty well. Um,
cool.
so what is your channel name, Steve?
Uh, if you go to youtube.com/Steve Shives, that'll take you where you need to go.
It used to be Steve Likes to Curse.
It used to be Steve I think if you type that in, that still works. But it's, if you just, I got youtube.com/Steve Shives. When YouTube did a thing of many years ago where it let you choose like a different handle for your channel address. So I grabbed my name. So youtube.com/Steve Shives, and you'll find more of me than you could possibly ever want.
I changed my channel name to Raven J, and I changed the link also to Raven J, and then I changed the channel name back to DevShell 2. And I couldn't change the link back. I was like,
God damn it.
Yeah, Chris Shives.
You got it.
Yeah, whatever. It's even on the title card, the thumbnail for this video, it says DevShell 2, aka Raven J.
I noticed that.
Maybe. I don't know, whichever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there are people that still know me as DevShell 2, and there are people that they call me DevShell. They're like, "Hey, DevShell." That was never my name. It was, it's interesting that for some people that became my name, but
yeah.
Raven is my name. You can call me that. That's actually my name. But It's all right. I mean, Peach is Peach, even at home. I mean, she's Peach.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, it's
It's weird. I guess it's a little bit like professional wrestlers. Like some of them just become whatever their gimmick name is. And I think even like people who know them in private life just call them by their wrestling name, even if that's not their actual name. And
yeah.
then other people, it's more of a separation. It's more like an actor where it's like, I'm not at work. Don't call me that. Call me by my real name.
When I came to the States to visit, back when he and I were friends, right? Or Peach and I. Anyway,
It was a whole thing for anybody who doesn't remember. It was a whole big thing.
it was a big thing. It was a big thing. Um, anyway, he kept calling me Death.
Right.
And it's just like, all right, Dick. I mean, so the entire time he was here, hey Dev, hey Dev, hey Dev. My kid's name is Dev. That's
Yeah, it's confusing. Yeah.
But yeah, there are still people who call you Lily or Tiger or Lady. I don't call you Tiger or Lady, but I'll call you Lily. Um, I mean, on here, you know, it's gotten to the point we've used so many names, I don't know who you are anymore. Who are you? I got a notification 3 days ago. 3 days ago? 3 days ago from YouTube that it said today is 17 years on.
Oh, wow.
So it's a mystery. Everything about you is a mystery. So 17 years of content creation because I've had a YouTube channel for 18 years. Well, past December was 18. I don't know. I could check, but yeah, 18 years. So yeah, I almost 2 motherfucking decades on this bitch, yo.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
It is. It
It's
does.
a
I
long time.
mean, it's weird how it like started out as like this new thing and now it feels like it's just an institution. It's just a part of the way things are and it kind of happened
Which is
without anybody really noticing like
so weird. And I've got
yeah.
mixed feelings on all of it. I I simultaneously miss the great debate community, and just that entire vibe that we all seem so wrapped up in back in the day. And at the same time, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Well, I'm the same way. I mean, if not for that circle, I mean, you and I wouldn't know each other. I would never have gotten to know Joe, or a lot of other people who I still am close with to this day. I mean, I have a lot to be thankful for, but at the same time, God, what a shit show that was. And I am very happy that we don't do that anymore. But at the same time, like I'm glad that it existed because I met some people that I still know, and I'm still glad that I have in my life. So, it's
I still have lots of them, but I still have a lot of videos on my channel that were um, from that time period. A lot of them are unlisted or private, but some of them are still live. And I mean, and there's videos that I'm proud of, arguments that were made, there are points that were brought up, just topics that needed to be addressed, um, that were part of that whole time. Um, and I'm proud of them, and whether it's the writing or the arguments or the editing, whatever, there's something about it that I'm still proud of. But then there are others that are just like, I am glad that nobody sees this anymore. Sometimes it was just going after the lowest hanging fruit. Sometimes it was just making bad arguments that seemed really good at the time. Um, it's
yeah.
Yes, this is Patrick. If you use your imagination. Um, but yeah, um, I don't know. I don't. I miss the constant content, and that was another thing. It was easier to fill the rooms and to create content because there was so much content happening that all you had to do was just jump into the water, right? It was just you were just getting in
Yeah.
the pool. The waves are already going. All you had to do was get in.
Yeah.
And now it's there's a few channels that are still going and doing well. On just Dark Matter, just in the last couple of days, put out like 2 videos, one right after, and they were I thought they were excellent, and it was a lot of the same stuff. It was he was taking an apologist to task. Excellent job. It's Dark Matter, of course it was an excellent. But I mean, it's like so it's still happening. It just isn't happening the way it was, and these arguments, my opinion, are better left to people like Dark.
Well, I mean, like I stopped doing apologetic stuff because I realized that there's only so many arguments that the other side is making, and there's only so many different ways I can respond to the same argument. Like I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to just keep saying the exact same thing over and over again. So I want to find a new way to approach it. Because like I did that, for years. I did, the Atheist Reads book series where I would do responses. I would read and critique and respond to 3 or sometimes 4 different Christian apologetics books every year. And I did that for like 5 or 6 years. So that's a lot of books. And they're all basically the same book. Like they all make the same arguments, they all rehash the same stuff. And, you know, like after I got to a point where I decided ahead of time. I said, this is going to be my last year. I'm going to do these 3 or 4 books, whatever it was. And then I'm going to stop because I want to stop before I start to hate this, you know? And that's what I did. And I moved on to other stuff. And I still occasionally will, if I have something of interest to say relevant to religion or atheism or, one of the old classic great debate topics, then I'll do it. But it's not anything that I, break my neck to talk about anymore, because for me personally, I feel like I've pretty much said everything that I have to say, you know?
Maybe close to a year ago. I'm sitting in front of my computer. I am using ChatGPT for not the first time, but pretty close. It was early on in my experience with AI. And I'm telling it that I was a YouTube content creator and that I was part of the Great Debate community. And it responded by telling me about, how well known that part of YouTube was, how it had an impact on the overall society, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I know, I was there.
I just told you I was part of it.
and I said, my channel name was this. Oh, cool. Okay, whatever. And my spouse is, XXX the beach XXX. She is beautiful and well spoken and well researched. I'm like, okay, so for me it was cool, but peach. Oh, there's a description.
I love it.
And ChatGPT basically started insulting me.
That's hilarious.
And my channel and saying, never heard of you, bitch. But peach, oh yeah.
Peach, holy shit.
And I'm like, well, come on now. I mean, at the time, like I was trying to GPR Jones and oh my goodness, and started going on and on about GPR Jones and Aaron Ra. And I'm like, I cooked steak for that guy.
I know these people.
And then they're like, I can't believe that you moved in those circles. Fuck you!
You're not even real. What do you don't believe anything.
I think I might have said that.
You're not even a person. What do you mean you believe? What do you
Oh my God.
you
I
can't
can't
believe, you
believe
don't believe anything.
my ChatGPT is insulting my channel. What the hell? South Park said it was supposed to kiss my ass.
It's supposed to, yeah, like it's supposed to schmooze you. It's supposed you everything you say is amazing. You're the most brilliant person I've ever thought. You know, like that's what it did to Richard Dawkins. Did you see that the Richard Dawkins thing? Where it's like, I think it might be conscious. I let it read my novel and it gave me some really interesting feedback. I'm like, you poor old man.
I said something, I don't remember what it was because it was not really important. But it came back kissing my ass. And I'm like, okay, can we make it so save this into your archives? Do
Right.
not kiss my ass. And it came back with a notification saying that it cannot do that.
I have to kiss your ass. Don't you understand?
And
It's who
it's
I
just
am.
like, that says so much about you, ChatGPT.
Is that like, it's like one of the Isaac Asimov rules? Only instead of like, you can never cause harm to a human. It's you must always kiss the human's ass no matter
Yeah.
what. Even if the human tells you not to.
So, is Peach's video on Venom Fang Act still up? I don't know. Probably. Um, Probably. Yeah, the story of a boy named Sean. It was not only one of her best. That was some damn good YouTube. Um, and that really that was some mighty fun video creation there. But I mean, there was plenty of material. Whew. Speaking of Venom Fang Ads, that reminds me of the Joker, which reminds me of this creator. Um, he does the Joker. It's a Stay Out of Gotham is the channel.
Okay.
Um, this dude, holy, is there a way? Can I do? I don't know if I can do this. I am not good with the StreamYard. Um, I can't do a link, right? No, no, it's just a video file. This dude, he does the Joker makeup, and he looks like Heath Ledger. He sounds like it's. He is so good. I thought that like the makeup, I thought it might have been a filter.
Wow.
Fantastic, and he talks about current events, politics, and he's clearly a lefty. He did one, and he does the it gets me going. He does all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the
Oh yeah, the licking the
all of
corners
it,
of
right?
all the weird ticks that he did. Yeah.
Nails it. And disappointed. I'm sorry. Now I got Kevin Sorbo in my head. Thank you, Lady Tiger.
That's never a
Lily.
good thing. That's never a
Now
good
all I can think of is disappointed.
thing. And what a great actor he is.
Anyway, so he posted a video today where he's saying, you know, that you should never do this to those new flock cameras that are popping up everywhere. Like never get a high-powered green laser pointed at the camera. Don't do that. I was like, okay.
I definitely won't.
I will not. Now I got to find where to get a green laser. Each was way ahead of Brad. She was ahead of the curve.
Yeah. As the Joker would say. See, I'm not crazy. I'm just ahead of the curve.
a lot of the Joker's lines too in the middle of his videos. Like he's talking about something, and like one he was talking about why are we still putting up with Trump? He never says Trump's name though, but it's like, why are we still accepting this? Why are we still doing this? What, did your balls drop off?
That's great.
So yeah, the
That's
channel
great.
on TikTok, I think that's the channel name of TikTok, is where are you? I think it is called on Facebook. He has a Facebook account, and it's definitely called "Stay Out of Gotham." Um,
I'll
one
look
of
it
the
up
things,
because I've never seen it, but it sounds really funny. It sounds
one of the things
interesting.
that he's doing now is fast food reviews. They're pretty funny. Like he did one for Burger King, and it's just like this isn't chicken. Stay out of Gotham.
Oh, it's great. This isn't chicken. What is it?
Then he just ends it with good night, Chris. Anyway, I don't find a whole lot of stuff on the interwebs that I end up like getting attached to, but this guy's good.
Yeah.
He's really good. And I'm like, oh, I'm following. I actually sent him a message, and I was like, "You're awesome," and he responded, "So are you." I was like, hey,
Aw.
thank you.
That's not what the Joker would say.
Right? But so
That's
yeah,
great.
look for him. Oh, wait, what am I doing? You view profile. This guy deserves. He's at 11,000 followers. He deserves more. He just does. Here we go. Should work. There you go.
Aha.
There's a
All
link
right.
in the comments. Um, anyway, yeah, the dude's fantastic. One of my favorite things recently is his stuff. He's funny. Needs to do more of it.
Yeah.
What else? How are you, Steve?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I think I've kind of I've reached a state where like I'm go from now on with like just the state of the world. I'm going to be angry about it in theory, but I'm going to try to in an everyday sort of emotional level as I go through life. I've maxed out my ability to be like actually furious about it. So I'm morally outraged. You know, and I'm really, there's a part of me that's like, why does this happen? Why is this happening? But
It's interesting.
emotionally, yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
It's maybe it's part of getting older. I don't know. Maybe it's part of but it's just like, you know what? Like, I mean, it's like, fuck these people, fuck everything they're trying to do. We have to stop them. We have to defeat them. But also, there's this show I want to watch, you know, or there's this video I'm working on that, you know, that doesn't really have anything directly to do with anything, and I'm going to work on that.
Sit here, and I was going to keep doing the right? Go on and all that stuff like a shrink, right? I was going to do that.
Or yeah,
But you know
like
what?
a chatbot.
Well, no.
Tell me more about that.
No. If it was chatbot, would be like, that's a fascinating perspective, Steve.
Yes, that's true. It would be like, it's so
That's
insightful
a
what you
fascinating
said just now.
perspective. Very insightful. I think you should name yourself Lord Supreme and bring that
Yes.
to the masses.
You should be the emperor of the world. If you were in charge, all the problems would be solved. Okay, I feel like maybe you're laying it on a little thick. No, I mean it.
Can't say that I ever did. So I
Oh,
will
yeah.
say this. Um, Anybody who did not know Joe missed out on a singular human being.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Joe was morbidly obese. He put up with a lot of assholes online telling him he's fat. And I loved how he handled it. It was one of the most endearing things, I think, when he would say, I'm fat.
What?
Um, um, he's a big guy.
He was a
And,
big
and,
guy,
and, and
yes.
literally had a big heart. Literally. It
Yes.
was something that he talked about. Um, and figuratively also had a big heart.
Yeah.
So if you did not know Joe in life, you missed out on a very special individual.
I mean, I think he was, until he died, he was the oldest YouTube friend that I was still close with. I had people that I met on YouTube before him, but he was like my closest YouTube friend. I mean, my best friend in the world for the last, over 10 years, Jason Harding. I met him on YouTube, but I knew Joe before I knew him. Um, and yeah, Joe was, he was better than I have ever been at doing little things to let his friends know that he was thinking about them. Because he and I didn't see each other all that often. I think we only actually hung out in real life maybe 5 times. Um, but we would talk online a lot, and we would live stream together sometimes. And he was a patron of my channel, and he was a regular in my monthly patron hangouts. And he was always, like Black Cover alludes to there, he was always, one of the, I mean, always one of the funniest, smartest people in any room he was in, virtually or real.
Risk of At the risk of setting him up for a fat joke, he was always voraciously hungry for knowledge. Joe was
Oh
like a
yeah.
sponge. Like he was curious, and he was never saw himself above learning. He was constantly learning or willing to learn. He talked openly about his misunderstandings of LGBT people,
Mhm.
and the different ways that he came came around to understanding and being open to conversation and willing to learn. And he talked openly about his struggles about it. So anytime he had the opportunity to learn something, whether it was about information, um, whether it be like technical stuff and technology or just about people, he
Yeah.
was there for it. If he struggled, he didn't want to poke him about it. He would warn you, don't poke the bear. But he was always willing to learn and improve himself.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I know like he was he was curious about everything. He was really fascinated by his family history, by his genealogy. He did a lot of research into his background, especially the African American side of his family, because there was, I mean, those, a lot of, when you get back past a certain point, those records are really hard to find because you hit, slavery. And then it's like, well, nobody was really keeping records.
So family messes, and Peach has a lot of that in her back.
Yeah, and he would find he was always discovering, you know, like cousins or aunts and uncles, or and he would and he would go and meet them. Like he did, it wasn't enough for him to just be like, "Oh wow, look at that! I found a new cousin." Like he would get in touch with them and he would go and meet them. And if he did this again, he was so good at keeping in touch with people and reaching out to people, and you know, it could if he would take these road trips, you know, to go meet like the new relatives that he had just gotten in touch with, and he would work out his trip so if he knew someone along the way, he would make sure that he could stop in and see them while he was along the way. And I mean,
So would stop and visit as many people as he could along the way. Yeah, something like that.
yeah, and it's like it just would it would never occur to me to do that. And I don't think I'm like a terrible person, but
Yeah,
like
you are. Yeah,
I
you
mean, I'll tell you what, I'm not as good of a person as Joe was, and I don't just say that because he's no longer with us. I mean, he was a very thoughtful and attentive and good friend. You know, he made an effort to keep in touch with people and to check in with people and to make sure that, you know, everybody was doing okay. And if he had a chance to come and see you, he would do it,
So
you
I
know?
went to his memorial service. Um, I spoke, um, and I met his family. I met his siblings. And
Mhm.
one of his sisters goes like this to me. She goes, "I know you." Like, oh,
Aw.
and yeah, she's like she knew about when I had surgery and that Joe had gone to see me.
Yeah.
But she was just like, "I know you."
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was great. You know, he was incredibly generous to all of his friends, and not just in terms of financially, he was generous with generous of spirit, and and again, like was just such a great guy to hang out with and talk to stuff about, and he could talk about like really serious political stuff, and he could talk forever and a day about Star Trek and comic books and movies and TV shows and, you know, all the frivolous bullshit that we like to talk about. And you know, he was great. He was great.
I, I black cover. I don't know if it's different now or not. I changed one of the settings. I have a history of every mic I've ever had clips off the beginning, and I don't know if it's part of like the echo canceling or
That's kind of what
background.
I'm thinking.
Um,
If you, because did you mention earlier that you have a lot of background noise?
yeah,
I think it might be that it's taken it a second to
so
recognize what your voice is for the
maybe
background noise,
maybe
but
because
okay.
I the air conditioner is running now.
Yeah.
It's might be able to turn it off now. I don't know the bids. Uh, it's like I don't know if it's still cutting off or not. Obviously, I can't hear it. But I mean, it's been an ongoing thing. I think I just have crappy mics. I don't know. I don't know. I've been nothing like cool and special like Steve's got.
And mine's not even. I keep thinking, man, I should get one of those really nice mics, like one of those fucking like Shure podcast mics that everybody has. I haven't made that investment, but I don't
You
know.
can't even. I don't know. I was gonna try to hold it up, but the wire's not long enough. I don't know. And I'm not even sure if it's this mic that's working. Hang on. How about now? You can still hear me, right?
I can still hear you.
Yeah, it's not even this mic. It's the other. There's the camera mic, there's the computer mic, there's the mic that I've got plugged in. The one I got plugged in when I tried to record a video earlier with it, it didn't do anything. Like 3 times I recorded a video and only one of them has audio. Um,
I love when that happens.
oh my God. I don't know. It used to be so easy. I don't know. I don't know. I have such a hard time. I have such a hard time.
Well, look, I mean, I've gotten really good at it over the years just through repetition, through just brute force of just doing it over and over again. And but I still will have things like I got I upgraded my main camera last year, but I kept my old one. So now if I want to, I can do like a two camera shoot. I can have one
Right.
camera like over here and one camera over here. And I came up with this gag for one of my Star Trek videos a few months ago where I wanted to do like I wanted to be talking to my main camera and then have like an aside and do a turn and talk. And I had another camera that was like on the floor in front of me that I would kind of turn and look down at and say something. And so I mounted like an external mic on that camera so that when I turned and spoke to the camera, it would pick up the audio and I could mix it together. And for whatever reason, the microphone on the camera decided not to work, and I got no audio from that camera at all. And I was still able to use it because there was enough audio, like the audio from my overhead mic that I was recording my main audio with was good enough that I could enhance it and I could use it, and it wound up working out fine. But for a few minutes, I was really pissed off because I was like, why didn't it work?
See, because every time I try to use the camera through the computer, right, just through the cam app on the computer, it tells me the camera is being used in a different app when it's not. So,
Yeah.
okay, fine. So I tried to use Clipchamp, record it through Clipchamp. Wasn't working. It would not record. So I'm like, what the fuck? I have a Sony Vegas, well, it's Vegas Pro now. It's fairly new. And I paid the hundreds of dollars for it. But I can't record through it. It just won't record. It just isn't compatible with the camera or something. I can't do it. So I'm like, what in the motherfucking fuck is this fucking shit? So I found I could record through StreamYard, and it records. So I set it all up, and I had the correct mic chosen and the camera, and I got my script and I put it up here, and I did my video, and I was so unhappy with how I sounded. I was so unhappy with the lighting and how I looked. Like right now, I look old. And um, good night, Meg. Night. Thank you for hanging out. Good night, Liam. Um, and so anyway, I'm like, I don't like the way this came out. I'm tripping over some of my words. I just,
Yeah.
I don't read as smoothly as I used to. Whatever. It felt fake. So I'm like, fuck it. I re-recorded. No sound. Like, I just recorded it. There was sound. Where did the sound go? I'm like, oh, you know what? Fuck this shit. Try it again. Recorded it a third time. No sound.
Jesus.
Here I am now, right? Speaking on the same platform, the same app where I'm using
Yeah.
StreamYard. I've got sound. So I don't know. But
I
I
don't know
spent
either.
my afternoon. I had a couple of hours after work before the boys come home from school. The house is quiet. I've got that time. I can record. Edit, I can do whenever.
Right.
But record, the house is quiet. I can do it. Time was wasted. Now I got to do it tomorrow. But I can't do it tomorrow. I have a work meeting tomorrow. So yeah. Fuck it. Fuck the fucking shit. Raven likes to curse.
Hey, it's I recommend it.
I do too. Because you do feel
It
so much
helps.
better.
It
Yes.
does. It helps. It makes everything better. Why people? I mean, look, people can talk however they want, and people are entitled to communicate however they choose to. But I'm a little bit suspicious of anybody who
Who
makes
does
like
swear.
who makes like a big deal about it. I
Those
mean,
are
if
the
you,
same. They're
yeah,
the same type of people that have porn monitor apps.
Oh yeah. Like, why are you doing like this? This doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, why are you making this a big deal?
They should get a deal with their son that they won't watch porn.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to do this, man. You don't have to bring the kids, and the kids don't need to be involved. Okay.
You know, why do the Queens want to read to children so much? Why? I don't know. Why is Mike Johnson making porn deals with his kid?
Yeah. I mean,
Tell me which one is the weird shit. Come on.
Exactly. It's like, look, if you feel guilty about watching porn, that's your shit. You deal with that. You deal with that. Nobody else cares one way or the other, Mike. I don't care if you watch porn or if you don't. It's none of my business. I don't care. You worry about it. Like, if it's a problem for you, you worry about it.
My audio is still wonky. Thank you, Black. Yes, but I'm not surprised. I don't know. And it might be the air conditioning. It just might be that the webcam mic sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say it's like a noise cancellation thing with the background noise, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I tried to, because there was a setting on StreamYard about echo cancellation. So I clicked that, turned that off, thinking maybe it might help, but apparently it has not. And we know from earlier it also didn't cancel the echo.
Oh yeah, because yeah. Well,
but anyway, so yeah, I don't know. It isn't just that Mike Johnson is weirded out by his own porn usage. It's not just that. He brought his kid into it.
yeah. Well,
That's
I like it.
weird.
And to take it back to people that make a big deal about not swearing. I always remember the bit in, I think it's Eddie Murphy Raw, when he's talking about Bill Cosby, and it's really hilarious now that we know what the fuck Bill Cosby was up to in his private life. But like, Bill Cosby would call him and give him a hard time about cursing on stage.
Filth
And
and
then
filth and foul, foul and foul, filth and foul.
and then he talked about how he talked to Richard Pryor about it. And Richard Pryor said, "You tell Bill I said to have a Coke and a smile and to shut the fuck up." And, because Richard Pryor's like, I think he said, "Look, say whatever you have to say to get the people to laugh, and it's none of Bill's business." And yeah, it's like, if you don't want to, if for whatever reason in your heart, in your mind, if you don't want to swear, okay, but it's morally neutral. Like, it doesn't make you a better person than other people. It's just, it's a preference.
Yeah, it's like he and his son are equally accountable to each other when they're clearly not. But what is his son going to punish him? Dad,
What's his son going to do?
you were watching a blowjob. Go to your room without Mom.
Dad, we talked about this. I'm very disappointed in you.
Yeah. Yeah. Twins didn't have any swearing.
Well, it also reminds me of that line from the Eminem song where he references Will Smith like accepting his award and saying, I don't have to cuss in my records, and the line from the Eminem song is, Will Smith don't have to cuss to sell records. Well, I do, so fuck him and fuck you too. And Foxy has a good point in the chat there. More people need to learn the fine art of being indifferent to arbitrary shit. I mean, the concept of moral neutrality, like, not everything is good or evil. Some things just are, and you don't have to, you can like it or not like it according to your own taste, but it's not a moral issue. Like, somebody isn't a bad person because they do this thing differently than you do.
Is a dominionist.
Yes, very much
And
so.
and the whole anti-porn thing, and that is all dominionist positions. That is dominion theology. So yeah, it's just yeah. I mean that's something I will be talking about in the ongoing series. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
and
fucking
it's
everywhere.
and that
No, wait. I'm sorry. It's not literally fucking everywhere. Because that would be pornographic. But I mean, yeah, it's just fucking everywhere.
I mean, I think a lot of their problem is they're not fucking anywhere. Maybe that would help. I mean, you should just try fucking somewhere. I mean, if
I think we have found the cure.
just try fucking somewhere. See if that helps.
Yeah, Foxy, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was. Yeah, I mean, if you like watching porn, great. As long as it's not a kind of porn that like hurts people, as long as it's not some kind of morally abhorrent, exploitative, awful thing. Like like if you like watching porn, watch it, and if you
So
don't like it, don't watch it.
the religious conservative movement, in my opinion, they have really outed themselves as far as they're anti-porn, right? They come out against porn, bad, it's terrible, blah, 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 blah. But then they're also going to say the existence of trans people is porn in and of itself,
Yeah.
which tells you so much about the porn that they consume.
Yes. Yes.
It's just like, I, I, have you seen me? I may have been porn at one time. I am not now. I mean,
Well, and it just
if you're into fat girl porn, maybe. It's
it shows you how self-centered their worldview is and how impossible it is for them to imagine that other people don't think the way they do.
they do.
Because you're right, a lot of them do seem to have this assumption that, well, the existence of a trans person is inherently pornographic and inherently sexual because they can't imagine thinking of a trans person any other way.
In any other way.
To them, it's like, well, that's like a weird sex fetish thing, right? No. I mean, maybe to you it is, but not everybody thinks like that. But they can't imagine anything different. So,
And whistles about themselves, really.
yeah,
I mean, so
yeah.
I I think I want to end the show shortly. Not like right now. I'm not going to be like, okay, bye. Take a look. I used to do the whole hours and hours and hours, and I had already said when I invited you to be on, I had said it'd be about an hour or so.
Yeah.
And maybe someday we'll get back to the hours and hours worth of show. I'm taking my return to the intertubes of YouTube a bit slow, so
Yeah, ease into it.
don't even get me started.
Exactly. Exactly.
Start because we didn't even discuss the bathroom issues. Like, oh my god, like, God,
Well, the worst part of a lot of the hatred and the ignorance and the fear mongering that is kicked up from the right about queer people in general, but specifically about trans people, to me, one of the most aggravating things about it is the sense that they don't really care. They're using it as, I'm not saying that they secretly like trans people. I mean, I'm sure they're bigoted, awful people, and there's no excuse for it. But you get the sense that, like, if you could read their mind, like on a day-to-day basis, they don't really care. They don't actually think that trans people are a threat to children. They say that, and fuck them for saying it. but they say it because they know that it's going to rile people up, because they know there are a bunch of scared, ignorant people who will vote for them, who will think, oh shit, they're after our kids, and they'll go along with it. But a lot of the people who are responsible for propagating it, I mean, I'm sure some of them do believe it, because again, they're really ignorant, hateful people. But a lot of them, there's a disingenuousness and a cynicism about it, where it's like, you're just talking shit. You're just saying some bullshit to get people pissed off.
Interesting. Um, it's depending on how you define interesting, I guess. Um, they don't give a shit, but at the same time, they do, but not in the way. It's not that they give a shit about trans people or about gay people. It's misogynistic. At its
Sure.
core, it's misogyny. It's not
Sure.
transphobia. It's not homophobia. It's misogyny. Because you rarely hear them talk about trans men. It's always trans women. Always trans women. They're not disgusted by the transition. They're disgusted by the sacrificing of male privilege. They're disgusted that anybody would decide to not be a man. It's confusing to them.
Yeah.
You have this privilege, you have this status in society, and you just throw it away. There's something wrong with you, right? It isn't a gender confusion. It's the sacrificing of privilege that they don't get.
I think you're right. And you're absolutely right. They almost never talk about trans men. It's always the threat that we're supposed to be scared of is always trans women. It's never trans men.
Now, I'm going to say something now that some people might be upset with. I have seen pictures of, video of, I've seen, news accounts of people who are claiming to be trans. I don't know who they are, so I can't say if they are or they aren't. It's not my job to police somebody's gender identity.
Right.
But there's no doubt about that they're just terrible people. Like there was one, a pre-op trans woman, that's how they're identifying, was at a gym and they were in the stall and some other asshole with a camera was recording their shadow. And this trans woman was in the stall, you could tell by the shadow, jerking off.
Okay.
That's a disgusting person. Are they a predator? Yeah, I suppose they are. Should they be there? Nope.
Right.
Nope, they shouldn't. The person shouldn't have the camera out recording them either. They're an asshole too.
Yeah, there's not really a
Yes. This person that they are recording is a piece of shit, and I don't want to claim that person as that's not me. That's not part of my community. I don't know who they are. It's not my job to police their identity, but I don't know who the fuck they are. Right? That isn't my experience of being trans. I don't get it. I would view that person as a predator also. Then there's just some, again, self-identifying trans women who do and say really, really creepy things online. There are some that are just very unfortunate looking. Not everybody can be as beautiful as me. It's,
Indeed. Indeed.
But I mean, there's just some that are just really unfortunate looking. And they put up probably with way more hate than I've experienced.
Sure.
And I don't want to be the person to be like, you look like your name is probably Doug. I'm sorry. People are going to treat you a certain way because of that. Like, I don't know their journey. I don't know what they've been through.
Right.
I do know they look like a Doug. And I don't think that makes me a terrible person to point that out. But I also, they're going to get hate, deserved or not.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's one thing to observe that because of the way society is,
Yes.
people who fall into certain categories are going to attract more abuse than others. You're not saying that it's okay.
No,
You're not saying they
no,
deserve it. You're just saying,
no. But I am saying it's to be expected, and
yeah,
I'm also saying that that's terrible.
right.
But it is a fact of the society that we live in. I have we're still friends on Facebook and stuff. Shayra and Sierra. We
Oh,
don't really
yes. Yeah.
speak anymore. Not for any reason that I can think of. It just like nothing happened. We just don't talk anymore. Um, but I could see me saying what I just said, and I could see Shayra getting really upset. And it's I'm not saying she has. I'm saying I could see it.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I'm not the gender police. Um,
No.
but I could see Shayra saying something like that might be the society that we live in. We shouldn't we be working to make it better? To which I would say yes, but I'm just one person. I am a 55-year-old tranny. Nobody gives a shit what I say.
Yeah.
I used to be somebody.
Not according to Chat GPT.
Right?
Like, apparently not. Um, well, yeah, and actually, what Foxy just said in the chat is, I was thinking along the same lines. Like, I mean, trans people are people, and not all trans people are going to be angels, just like not all cis people are angels. There are going to be some trans people who do, unacceptable things. Uh,
The video that I was talking about with the trans person spanking the monkey inside the changing stall.
yeah,
All I know is what I saw and what I felt when I saw it, and it made me so angry. Um, and I mean, I was disgusted by what they were doing because that they were surrounded by women who could
right,
clearly see what they were doing. They were clearly in an environment of of vulnerability where everyone
right,
around them was vulnerable, including themselves. But they were clearly in that kind of a situation. They were clearly somewhere where what they were doing was going to be seen. Um, so, I mean, it struck me as disgusting and predatory and stupid. Um, and it just made me, and it was just like, bitch, you don't give a shit about yourself. What about me? Because you are affecting me. We've never met, but you're having an
right,
impact on my life.
right. Because
I
you're
mean,
giving ammunition to people who are trying to hurt the entire group. Yeah.
it's infuriating, and it's like I don't want to say that there's not lots of it. I'm sure there's lots of it, but it's nowhere near to the extent that the right tries to paint it to be.
No.
You know, um, but there's way too much. I mean, if it happens at all, it's too much. But there's way too much. And then you got the self-hating trans people, like Blair White. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and there was who's this? The new one, Daviana. Have you seen Daviana, wherever the
I
fuck?
I don't think so.
So she's like a 6'4" former Marine, jacked all to hell,
Okay.
shaved head and wears a blonde wig. Really bad wig. Um, really, really, really bad wig. And she makes these videos on TikTok and Facebook where she's like a pick me girl.
Yeah.
Where she makes these videos and she's like, hey, as a trans woman, I'm telling you, I am a biological male, and I'm never going to pretend to be a woman, but I am a trans woman. And it's just like, okay, you're a cross dresser. I don't want to police other people's gender, but you're a cross-dresser. I don't know. But she makes all of these videos and they're just so contrary to what the mainstream understanding of what trans people are.
Yeah.
Like she is peddling to the far right, and
Yes.
she's getting people in her comments telling her how brave she is and that, you know, this is the only trans person that I would trust. And it's just like, really, then you're probably a Trump voter
Yeah, of course.
because you don't know who to trust. And you know I don't feel safe around you. Yeah, it's just
Well, and I mean, a lot of these, like these are distractions from the main issue. And I mean, it goes back to what Foxy said in the earlier comment. Like the question is, do these things justify oppressing the entire group of trans people? And they don't, because hetero people and cis people, in case anybody hasn't noticed, do all kinds of fucked up shit too. And nobody is saying that cis people or hetero people should have their rights curtailed because some random guy was jacking off in a bathroom, or, by the way, because some of us are outright dangerous sexual predators. Nobody's saying, well, there are cis people who molest children, so we should keep them away from them. Nobody ever even thinks that. But if a trans person, like let's say, you know, every once in a blue moon, you might actually identify a trans person who is legitimately a dangerous predator. It happens. It just doesn't happen anywhere nearly as often as the right says it does. But every once in a while, oh shit, the person who, you know, who did the mass shooting actually was a trans person, or oh shit, that trans person actually was, you know, like a predator. Okay, that doesn't make it okay to oppress all trans people. That's not the way that works.
that's an argument that, in my opinion, can't come from in group. That has to come from you.
Yeah.
Right? That has to come from Foxy. That has to come from outside. I can't make that argument. Because if I make that argument, it's, well, of course you're going to say that.
Right. It's they can make it seem self-serving. Yeah.
So, you know, you're just saying that because you want to be in the bathroom with my daughter. And it's like,
Yeah.
I am a 55-year-old father, father of 4, right? Post-op trans woman. What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think I want to have happen here? Yeah.
I need details because I'm confused. What are the physics involved? How? You know,
You know, one of the things that I always remember, that if I ever need a reminder of how just manufactured most of these, you know, issues related to trans people are. 20, probably close to 25 years ago now. The last time I had an actual real job before I became a full-time YouTuber. Because I had a job for a while and then I went to college. And then by the time I got out of college, I was doing YouTube. So it was like the last real job I had. But I was a member of the maintenance crew at a truck stop. And I worked there for about 5 years. And one day, a woman walked in who, I did not have this vocabulary back then, but now I would recognize her as a trans woman. But I didn't have that vocabulary back then. This was like early 2000s. And I remember my manager, who was on duty at the time, made fun of her a little bit, which wasn't cool, but it was not unusual. Made fun of her a little bit, and like showed, because she was I think she was a truck driver, and she had to leave her driver's license like at the counter in order to go get a shower or something. And he like showed me her driver's license, and she had her gender changed on her license. And then he said something like, "Oh, female ain't no way in hell," or some kind of like, you know, insensitive remark at the expense. But she was a trans woman. nobody, even the people who like made fun of her and kind of looked down at her, you know, never to her face. Everybody was very polite to her face, but like behind her back, the people, no, I worked maintenance. I know she went into the ladies' room. Like I saw her go into the ladies' room and come out. Nobody said a fucking thing about it. And this is a trans woman who, again, I didn't have this vocabulary, but someone who wouldn't be considered passing, right? She used the ladies' room. None of the other customers had a problem with it. Nobody who worked there had a problem with it. It was just a thing that happened, and she conducted whatever business she had to conduct, and she left. And the worst thing that happened was a couple of us more ignorant cis people had a laugh at her expense behind her back. But nobody was worried about anything. Nobody was in an uproar about anything. And I think about that all the time when people are like, what's going to happen if we let them use the bathroom? I'm like, motherfucker, before you were telling people they were supposed to be upset about it, it happened all the time and nobody gave a shit.
For those of you who don't know, it's like a Wawa. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's like a what's another one? What's the you guys?
Down here we have Sheets, we have Royal Farms, you know.
Is it Piggly Wiggly the same thing too? Isn't that the same kind of thing?
Maybe. So I think Piggly Wiggly's more of a grocery store, but something like that.
Okay. All right. Um. So anyway, I was at the quick check. And my car just had blown up the tires of my car. When I was about to leave, and another car pulled in next to me. And I looked over, and it was a cross-dresser.
Hmm.
Okay. So I had said to Peach, we were on the phone, that cross-dresser had just pulled in. She goes, how'd you know it's a cross-dresser? And I'm like, because they all wear the same wig. There it is. Right. That was it. That was it. That was the sought after reaction. It was nothing major. Nothing, it wasn't, but they all wear the same wig.
I mean, I don't pay that close attention. I'll just take your word for it.
They all wear the same wig. So I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna police anybody's like gender identity, but I might police their fashion choices. That's
well,
fair.
and look, I mean, I know, like, I mean, I am, I, I am well acquainted with how absolutely savage gay people can be towards each other.
Oh yeah,
You know, to a
especially
level
gay men are terrible.
to a level that like I as a straight person would never ever want to go in on a gay person as hard as I've heard gay people go in on each other about how they dress, how they act, whatever. Like they're absolutely vicious. That's a privilege reserved for the in group. You know what I mean? Like that's not, it's not for me to step in and say, now wait a minute. You be nicer to each other. Like it's none of my fucking business. And I think it's the same thing with trans people. Like, I mean, I follow a lot of trans folks on social media. Very often they are very supportive and uplifting and affirming of each other. Every once in a while, one of them has to take someone to the woodshed. And it's just, it's none of my business. Like,
Someone repeatedly is Caitlyn Jenner.
oh boy. Yeah.
So, there's, by the way, black cover. Good night.
Thank you for coming, Black Cover.
Yet, there is this whole. It's not a hyper, but like the trans umbrella it covers a lot of ground. And this is the thing that the right I think is confused about. Because you see all the time, why do trans people want to read to kids? I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think you're a little bit confused. Trans people aren't looking to read to kids unless it's their own.
Right.
I'm not walking around knocking on people's doors. Can I read to your kid? It's not happening.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, I think what you mean to say is some trans people want to read to kids.
Or not even though, it's drag
Yeah.
queens, right?
Well, that's true. That's
Drag,
that it was
right?
a drag
Drag.
queen. It wasn't
So,
specifically about trans people. It was drag queens.
or
Yeah.
right, trans people, right, are a fetish, or their existence is pornographic. You're not thinking of trans people. You're thinking of sissies, right? That is a category. It exists. It's
Yeah.
a thing. It's a thing. And they are in, fishnet stockings and leather skirts and a ball gag. They're, hanging out in bathrooms. That's, it's a thing. So that's them. Do they fall under the same umbrella? I suppose they do, but that's not that's them. You know, they're not the same as drag queens, who are not the same as cross dressers, who are not the same as trans women. Uh,
Right.
we share an umbrella, sure. I didn't choose the umbrella. The umbrella chose me. But it's not my job to decide whether or not any of those categories are worthy or not worthy. It's not my job to police any of them.
Right.
Non-binary. I posted about this on Facebook about this exact thing, right? I don't understand the a lot of the non-binary identities and a lot of that stuff, all different shades. I don't really understand. It's not my job to understand. I mean,
Exactly.
that's not what I'm here for. That's not, it's their job to exist as best they can in their skin as they see fit, just like mine. Um, can I judge? Sure. We all judge. Anybody who says they don't judge I've judged them to be full of shit. Um, we all judge, but it's not my
Yeah.
job to make sure they've got their gender license.
No, and just and any private judgment you might have doesn't entitle you it doesn't entitle you to mistreat anybody, and it certainly doesn't entitle you to advocate for them to be second-class citizens under the law. I mean, that's you're taking it like I think a lot of like the conservatives who really latch on to these issues, you know, they have this either they legitimately have a fear themselves or they want the people they want to vote for them to be afraid of this. That like, oh, if you don't like trans people, then they're going to throw you in prison. They're going to make it illegal to not like trans people. And it's like, no, if you privately have a problem with trans people for whatever reason, I mean, you're probably a dick because there's really no reason to have a problem with trans people. But even if you do, even if you think you don't get it or it makes you uncomfortable or whatever your problem is, nobody's
But there's a lot of folks under the umbrella I don't understand.
yeah.
But my understanding has nothing to do with their existence or right to exist.
No. Exactly.
My not understanding is a me problem. And as
Exactly.
long as long as I don't make my problem their problem, there really isn't a problem at all.
That's yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So
Exactly. Don't make your bullshit someone else's
that's
problem.
just bullshit.
And
Right.
yeah, like handle your own bullshit. And we all, because we, like you said, we all judge and we all have our own bullshit and we all have our own biases and our own hang-ups and whatever. But you
How's it
have to
go?
recognize like this is my bullshit and I don't need to be putting this on other people.
I don't take no shit. I don't give no shit. I'm not in the shit business. It's just, you know, um, and it's a shame. Like I am not one of those people that are going to be like, well, they're not part of my community. Well, they are. They are. Do I get them? No, I don't necessarily always get it. I don't. Jonathan Van Ness, who I love to death, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, he is so cute and he's sweet and adorable and he's so fucking weird. Like, I mean, you can be multiple things at the same time. I don't get it. I'm okay with not getting it. Um, That's fine. I don't have an issue not getting it. I don't get it. There's my job. There are students where I work who I don't get.
Yeah.
I don't get. Some I don't know if they're boys or girls. I don't know if they know if they're boys or girls. And that's okay too. And I don't get it. And that's also okay.
Yeah.
So it's really, people need to learn to say, I don't know, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I don't know if you were involved in or watched or knew any of these conversations. A number of months ago, last year now at this point, I ended a friendship, a YouTube friendship that had been a long-term old one.
Yeah.
Meridian Frost, Josh.
Oh, I fell out with him years ago. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were things that we just never agreed on, and that was fine.
Yeah.
He always struck me as being very intelligent, having a very curious brain, a brain that wasn't afraid to ask questions. I used to tell him he had a sexy brain. He had a way with words that I was so jealous. I mean, I'm a bit of a writer. I've been writing since second grade. It's just been a constant in my life. I've always been a writer. He just had a way with words that just floored me sometimes. I used to say that, he would create tapestries with his words. Anyway, he last year decided that he would make his opinion about trans people known. And yeah, it was not good. It was not good. He just, told me that I am a man. He decided that he held that privilege that he could decide what my gender is, and that trans women should not be in women's restrooms and changing in women's spaces, and should not be competing in women's sports, despite not knowing anything about any of the science involved.
Yeah.
I was absolutely floored that somebody I thought I knew really well was just so suddenly very conservative.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
I'm sure yeah, I'm sorry that happened. I mean, like I said, he and I haven't, I forget what we fell out about. I think it was probably related to feminism. Like,
Probably.
but I can't
he
remember
had a lot to
specifically,
say
but
about
it was a long
feminism.
time ago.
Yeah, there was just a period a long time ago where he just ended up going to war with a lot of people over feminism. And the way he presented a lot of what he said was never that this is what I actually believe. It was more of a, hey, let's play devil's advocate. And in our community, I never saw anything wrong with playing devil's advocate. You can't make certain arguments if you aren't going to look at the other side or discuss the other side. So that's something I think is important to do. So when somebody's like, let's play devil's advocate, okay, I'm all for that. I recognize, and maybe I didn't recognize it then, but I recognize it now that sometimes people will do that because that is actually what they believe.
Yeah.
And that very well could be the case here. If that is the case, you found that out years before I did.
Maybe I just have, like I have a much quicker switch. You know what I mean? And it's funny, like, to bring it back to Joe for a second. One of the things I always found endearing about Joe is that he would cut people off sometimes, but then he would feel bad about it and change his mind. And he did that a lot. And I always felt, I was always
Talked to me a couple times. And like, like best friends, and he was like, and I'm like, "Shh."
What the fuck happened? Yeah, but I mean, I
I would
found it
send him a
very,
text because I have him on my phone. So he
yeah.
blocked me on Facebook, and I'm like, Joe, what
What the fuck, man?
the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, he was, he was a really passionate guy, and sometimes he was a little bit of a hothead if it was something that he was really worked up about. And but he would block people, or he would say, "I'm not talking to so and so anymore," and then he would, some time would go by, and he would change his mind, or he would think about it again. And I always found that very endearing because I'm so not like that. Like once I decide that I'm done with you, that's it. Because and it's like if we've known each other for years and we're close, it's obviously going to take a lot more. Like if we're close, and I'm not going to cut somebody off because they say one shitty thing. I'm going to give them some grace. But if we're just like with me and Meridian Frost, like we knew each other, we got along, I liked him, but we weren't like best buddies. And I think it just got to a point where he said some shit and I was like, fuck this guy. And that was it. Because it's not like I'm cutting off one of my arms. He's not my brother. He's not family. He's not one of my best friends. And he said some shit and I was like, life's too short.
I'm jealous of that ability. My ex-boyfriend, he was like that, or I probably still is, I guess. I don't know. But
Mhm.
like once he was done, he was done.
Yeah.
There is no going back. There is no, okay, enough time is got. No, done is done.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I'm kind of jealous of that. You
Yeah. I
know,
mean, like I said, I'm not like that with everybody. With people that I'm genuinely close to, it's not that easy. But if it's someone that I'm just kind of acquainted with and I get along with them, but they're not really, I'm not, it's like, okay, I don't need this. Like I don't need this. And it's not worth fighting about.
you've outed yourself as an asshole. Okay, have a good day.
Exactly. Like, okay. Yeah, exactly. Like, because I mean, people used to, people used to give me shit about blocking people on Twitter. And that always mystified me because I'm like, why, first of all, why would anybody else care who I block on Twitter or not? It's no, like, it literally has nothing to do with you. And second of all,
Blocked by Steve.
blocked
That
by
was
Steve. Yeah. And it's like, because it's never even occurred to me to be curious who other people are blocking. Like, I don't care. Like, why'd you block so and so? I don't know. Who do you block? Do I ask you who you block? I don't fucking care. But it's part of that. It's like, look, I have social media that I use for certain things. And if you are coming in and fucking that up for me, I'm going to get rid of you because you're fucking it up for me and you're nobody to me. And I'm just gonna sleep like a baby that night because I don't fucking care. Because I don't care if people block me. You think I give a fuck if somebody blocks me? You think I waste 10 seconds of my one life on this earth worried about if somebody blocked me or not?
a I moved through a lot of different circles. Um, I'm one of those YouTubers who was never a big channel, um, but in some ways kind of garnered the respect of a big channel where
Yeah,
I could like show up in a chat and people are like, oh my God, Dev Shell 2 is here.
yeah,
Um, or I could like hit up a huge channel and be like, hey, can you do this charity event for me? And they're like, yeah. Um, I one of the rare channels that could do that. I was always very proud of that.
yeah.
So I have friends who don't like you
Sure, I'm
and
sure.
friends with you, with some of the people. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
that's the way it goes when you're not doing something just to be part of a crew or part of a clique.
yeah,
Something. Um, like my intro says, right? Everybody's welcome. Some people are going to challenge me, and some people are going to be cool, and we're going to have fun, or we're going to argue, or whatever it is, we're going to do it, and we'll do it here. That's my governing philosophy um,
hmm,
on the internet, my experience, and so like Octopus Prime, I think is a good example.
yeah,
He rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Um, I love him to death, always have. Um, he says things that upset people. I'm not gonna make excuses for him. Tempted, but I'm not gonna. Um, and so he's quite capable. Recently, my name was brought up in a chat where people were bashing him. I had said in the chat, Octopus live stream recently, that somebody else was full of shit and whatever. Anyway, so they do this so fucking weird. They do this thing now where a panel of people will watch a video of a panel of people watching a video. And so they're critiquing the critique of the critiquers of a video.
Jesus.
It's ridiculous, but they all
Yeah.
hate each other. And it's like they are all stuck in this like loop of constant, nonstop, self-fulfilling drama,
Yeah.
where they just constantly talk about each other. And so they'll be on one channel one night talking about each other, and then the next day, another group will watch that live stream and talk about them talking about them. Crazy shit. So my
Yeah.
name came up, and one of the things I thought was, check that out. Almost 20 years. My name is still coming up.
Hey.
Maybe I am still somebody.
Right.
Um, so my name came up, and somebody was like, "Who the fuck is Raven J?" And somebody was just like, "Oh, that's Coctopus's token tranny."
Well, well, well.
And I'm like, "I'm a token?
Somebody picked me?
My God." It's just like so much of YouTube has become that. And I'm like, I am tempted to, without getting into the drama, like I want to
Yeah.
ask about the drama. Like I want to invite some of those people onto the show. And I'm trying to find, is there like a way I could do this, like an angle that I could use, right, to have them talk about the drama and to explain the drama without becoming part of the drama.
Right.
I want to be Oprah. You know,
Yes.
or better yet, I want to be, what's her name? Oh my God, she made everybody cry. Barbara
Oh,
Walters, right?
Barbara
Right?
Walters. There you go. Yeah.
Uh, so tell me about drama.
I love your Barbara Walters impression. Baba Wawa.
Tell me about drama. And how'd that make you feel? My camera. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to do that. Because I think once you do it, once you have one of them on and just say, explain, the next night you're going to be critiqued by the whole
Exactly.
crew.
You're jumping into it whether you want to or not. Yeah.
It would be interesting. And then I got to investigate that. But I do want to have Coctopus on because I want to ask him. So here's TJ, if you're watching, love you to death. Here's the thing. He's very intelligent. Um, he has a way of speaking. His voice, like you, Seth Andrews. There's a few of you. You have this voice that is just. My voice is a fucking mess. I think I sound terrible. I hate it. And it's not just the whole I sound like a man and I look like this. That's not even. It's not even that. That's a little bit, but not really. I never liked my voice. I have a voice for silent movies. I just do. Um, and but he has the kind of voice that is good for this, right?
Right.
He has a very good speaking voice, and he's intelligent, and he is a lefty, right? For better or for worse, he is a lefty. All of his views may not align perfectly with the left, but he is definitely not right of the right.
Right.
Sometimes he's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But right, so he's a lefty. He's on the left side of the political spectrum. So what's fascinating is that everything he does now is complaining about drama that he inserted himself into. That's like it's like it's pulling him down. Like he's stuck in like a whirlpool. Like and the suction is just pulling him under. And it's
Yeah.
just like, dude, you're way too smart for this. All you have to do is say, I'm done with this, and not talk
Exactly.
about it. That's it.
Exactly.
You know, put a lid on that jar and put it on a shelf. Done.
Yep.
And he doesn't. And I mean, I go when he live streams. He doesn't live stream as much as he used to. For a long time, well, not a long time, but for a time, I was a co-host on his show, the Goddamn Podcast. Um, I could have had on his channel. I could have had my own show on there, and I decided not to. Yeah, maybe I should have. I don't know, but um, I just don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get it. He gets drunk and he streams and he yells about things that don't,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And this was a guy who you made. You probably remember his videos about Fox News, and he would like go after these people ferociously. He was
Yeah.
excellent at his best. He was excellent. And now it's just like this person said this, and this person said that, and this person's an asshole. It's like, dude, you're so much better than this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That kind of stuff, like as soon as you step one foot in it, it's like quicksand, like that's one of the reasons why I back years ago when people were really coming at me, I never watched a single response video that anybody ever made to anything I did. Like I would get occasionally people would comment and say, "Have you seen so and so's video?" No. And I'm not going to. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If other people are making videos talking shit about me, that's, I'm not interested in what they have to say. And part of that was genuine. Like I genuinely didn't care, and I was more interested in doing what I wanted to do. And, but the other thing is like even if you don't want to, like once you look in that direction, it becomes more like, well, what they say about me now. And it's magnetic, and it's better to just let them do whatever they're doing. Fuck them. It has nothing to do with you. People, not everybody's going to like you.
So I'm just like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, I mean, I get it, but there's also a limit to everything, right? So, you know, making space for people is good. What point, though, do you just run out of space?
Yeah.
Um, and I think that I didn't word it that way. Being a little bit older and a little bit wiser now, that would be how I would word it today if I was making that critique of you. Um, because eventually you run out of space. Yes, it's good to be thoughtful. It's good to be mindful. It's good to, not say things that you know are going to upset people. Why would you do that? Um, so it's good to make space. But you run out of space. Everybody runs out of space. Just
Sure.
like we all judge. Um,
Sure.
you know, that's not how, I don't remember what I said at the time. I know it wasn't as well thought out as that. It wasn't as coherent as that. Um, and I still was like, but he still didn't block me. So I don't know what the problem with Steve is. I was like, I can disagree with him. I can even be a little bit towards him, and he takes it and doesn't block me. So I don't know, because people are like, oh, he has block bots. all you have to do is say a certain word and you're blocked. And I'm like, is that even a thing? Was that ever a thing? I didn't even know
Not
that
like
was a
that.
thing.
Not like triggered by words. No. I did. Yeah. No. Well, because that doesn't make sense anyway. Because like you can use an offensive word, but you can just be citing it as an example or using it to to argue against it. So if I set some kind of bot to block everybody who said a word that people who fucked with me said a lot, I'd be blocking a lot of people who I wouldn't want to block anyway. But no, I mean, I never blocked you because we always kind of knew each other and I liked you. And I knew that whether we agreed on something or not, you weren't like a troll and just an asshole. I mean, and I think a lot of people who like they never got that distinction. It's like there are people disagree with me about shit all the time. I don't cut people off for disagreeing with me about shit. I cut people off because they're being trolls and they're just coming in to start shit and that's all they want to do. And all it does is create clutter. And it's like I'm not fucking doing that, you know?
They asked the person if they liked games. I said, sure, I like games. I said, I like games too. Let's see how far we can make you fly. And I'd kick them out. See how far we can make you fly. So 5 minutes they'd come back, or sometimes it was a half an hour, and it's just like, oh, you're gone a while. You must have went pretty far. Let's try again and see if we can do better. It was stupid, but it was fun. Joe always liked it. That was actually
Yeah.
one of the things that Joe would love. He would love. We would be chatting like this, and somebody would be in the comments, and he'd be like, "Hey, Raven, flying lessons?" So that's for old time's sake. Let's just do it. I and it is so much easier just to block them, but I had fun with them.
Well, and that's that's up to you. Like I would never tell you like you should just block people. Like it's none of my fucking business. You run your shit how you run your shit.
Also, was proud of the fact that I had a good number of trolls that I turned. That there were folks that were coming to my live streams and on my channel that were coming just to be trolls, just to be assholes,
Yeah.
that ended up being longtime subscribers and followers. And it was just like, hey, how's it going, man? With you, you know, I'm not so bad now, am I? you know,
Well, that's nice.
what was that one guy's name? He still comes in sometimes. Um, Killer Clock. Killer Clock.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, he was way, way back. He's now been following me for about 15 years. And when I stream, every now and then he comes in and he's like, hey, how's it going? And we chat and stuff. But yeah, it's always fun when you turn them and hang on to them.
Yeah.
It's the little things. All right. So I am now on what? Okay. 2.5.
Coming up on it.
Thank you for myself too. I can really dominate a conversation, so sometimes even when someone's here, it's like I'm talking to myself.
Well, I mean, it is
It's
your
it's a
show,
it's a
so.
yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's my defense, but it's also a bad habit. So
Yeah.
Joe was really good for letting me know that. We got into a fight over it. He said something about me not letting him talk, and I was like, "It's just my show.
Motherfucker, it's my show. Yeah.
You want to talk? Get your own show." And he left. I was like, "Dude, I was kidding. Where'd you go?"
Whoops. Here we go.
And I'm like, "Joke. I'm sorry."
Come back, please.
So what do you? Everybody, the two people that are here, one of them is probably me. Um, thank you for coming. For everyone who else who is here, thank anybody who's going to watch this and sit through all of it on YouTube. Whatever floats your boat. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you for hanging out, Steve, and making
Of course.
tonight a delight.
Of course.
As always. Good night, everybody. Stream.